why it's not comprehensive.
Okay, 8. What?
Do you see it?
Yeah. So good morning. I am Betsy Lavoie with the Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce, and
I'm Kristen Milishowski with your Fountain Hills Chamber of Commerce.
we're so thrilled to be sharing this new program with you, and it is thanks to the Vern C. Johnson Foundation that the Chamber of Commerce is able to really participate in this way in this program. And so we thank the Vern C. Johnson Foundation for their support. We truly, just to give you some background before we get to the FAQs, we truly have been seeking a solution to the workforce issue here in Fountain Hills. And we have found that if we start younger in our students, and we start younger in helping them get inspired to want to stay in Fountain Hills, to continue their workforce life after school here in Fountain Hills, that could be part of our solution. Because we all know that people may not want to travel with the price of gas from another city if they don't live here. And our population is not currently at a place. The town of Fountain Hills did a survey that 0.02%, not 0.2, 0.02% of our population is currently looking for work. And so the best solution for our workforce is to inspire the youth of our community to want to work here. And so we're really thrilled about this program. And the key word that we're going to speak to is inspire. For those of you who seek to host one of the student interns, we're thrilled. Can't wait to work with you in this way. And we really want you to think about, yes, you're going to have a student with you in your workplace or your nonprofit organization. And we're going to go through all the FAQs in just a second. But your role is to truly inspire that student for entrepreneurship, inspire that student for your industry. So whatever industry you represent, really, it's a lofty and a really exciting program that you have that kind of influence on our youth, that you could inspire them for nonprofit work. You could inspire them to be a doctor of veterinary care, of holistic care, right? You have that opportunity. So I just wanted to start with that, and then I'll let Kristen, we're going to go back and forth going through all of the FAQs all the questions we've already received, and then we'll take your questions. So go ahead, Kristen, you start.
Thank you, Betsy. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. The big question that we're getting is, when does the program start? How long am I going to have an intern? When does it end? So the student will begin to be paired with the businesses through Fountain Hills Unified School District during the month of September. So we have our intern fair on the 22nd, next Tuesday. And so you will be there sharing your business, promoting your business to the students with those interests. And then in September, the school will begin to pair the student. And then in October is when the school district is really going to be ready to get your student with you and in contact and begin the program. With that said, we know that some students will be busy with extracurricular activities, and so it's going to be a little bit flexible as to when your student may start the program with you. They may have football practice after school, which may delay them starting with you. So it's flexible, so keep that in mind. And then all internships are going to wrap up by February 15th, end of day. School will need the students to have all of their hours turned in on the 16th. So you'll want to finish that on the 15th by the end of the day.
Awesome. Thank you, Kristen. And as we go, this might spur more questions, of course, right?
Yes.
So just make sure to type those in the chat. Tammy is prepared to take those questions and will feed them to us if she doesn't answer them directly. So another question we received is, how many hours at a time can the intern work with the business? For example, is one day at 4 hours an option, or a few hours several days each week? And what is the preference? So we do want to share with you that the work schedule will be determined by the student, by the school and by you, the business or nonprofit organization, as the intern host. It is flexible based on the student's school and extracurricular schedule, of course. We are requiring a best practices of working with youth training. And so that is coming up. I should have brought the date with us. I can look really quick. But we are requiring that, and we will give you exact details. And we want to thank Lauren Stratton from the Boys and Girls Club, because she has really helped us to prepare you of what are the best practices of working with youth. And so to answer that question, it's going to be very flexible, and it's going to be according to your needs, their needs, and to fit the school parameters. Okay, go ahead.
Absolutely. So another question, we're all fairly new to this, right? Maybe we participated in something in the past, but a big question we're getting is, how do we create an intern program? We don't know how to go about that. We've never done it before. What are the steps to take? So we want to encourage you. Obviously, everyone has a specific industry that they're in. So things, again, they're flexible based on what's in your industry for that program. A great resource for you is simply doing a search out on the web. Every industry has some sort of internship program. You may be able to take a look at those and get a feel for how you want to structure that program. We are also forming an internship work plan document for you. And so we will have this, it's in process right now. There's some things that need to be finalized on that. We will share that with you. And from that, you will be able to form 3 objectives for your intern. And one of them will likely probably be simply an overview of your business, what your industry is like, what you do at your business. So that'll be one of the main components of that.
Okay, awesome.
Yes, go ahead. Thank you.
And then the next question we received is, can I pay the intern? And the answer is no. It is an unpaid internship. If the intern is paid, it may change your insurance coverage. It might change the agreement along with the school. And so this program is an unpaid internship. Now, after you host an intern, if it's a great fit and the student is really inspired for your industry and wants to work with you, it's your choice. Again, we're helping the workforce. It's your choice if you'd like to hire that person or perhaps offer a paid internship outside of this program. But for this program, it is an unpaid internship.
Another question we're receiving is it possible to have more than one intern at a time? Yes, it is. Perhaps your organization or your business would like to have a group of interns for helping with their initiatives or the objectives that you have. It is possible that you could have a number of interns at one time if they're interested. Also, you may want to have your intern may be there and complete their hours very quickly with you, and perhaps you'd like to have another intern come in. That's possible too.
And the program is 40 hours. And so, like Kristen said, they might complete those hours quickly. They might choose to use the holiday break, for example, if that works for you as well. They might choose to use the holiday break and just crank it all out. Well, perhaps you'll want to intern prior and after. And so that definitely lends itself. Out of my home, can the intern and I meet at my house? And the answer is no. You are not able, if you are a stay-at-home business or if you don't have a brick and mortar here in Fountain Hills, you are not able to host the intern at your house. However, all of you as chamber members know that you have your Chamber of Commerce building at your disposal, truly at your disposal. And so you could still be an intern host and use our building for your sessions together. And so we encourage you to do that because we want home-based businesses to have this opportunity as well. And it might inspire some youth to start their own business in that similar fashion.
As many of you know, the high school students are required to complete 24 hours of community service prior to graduation. And so one of the questions we're receiving is, will they receive community service hours for the senior internship program? And that answer is no, they will not receive community service hours for this. The community service hours and the internship program are 2 separate things with the school district. So they will not count as double there for the for the student. And they do have, like I say, 4 years to complete that community service program. So hopefully they have those done by their senior year, or they're getting ready to finish them.
And then another, it's not really a question, it's more of a statement. Something that we've heard quite a bit is, I will have an intern do our social media because teens are always on their phones. So I really want to encourage you to get back to the mission. So the mission is not for you to just have free labor. That is not this purpose. Okay, if you are a social media expert, then it would be appropriate for you to have a teen as an intern for your business, so that you can teach them the analytics and the ins and outs of social media, so you can inspire them in the business of social media, and then that could be part of their project. But if you are not a social media expert, or if you're not skilled in that, that's not a good fit. So remember, again, your role is to educate and inspire and teach these interns so that they can move into the workforce. If you're looking for someone to just do your social media, then perhaps that could be a community service type thing, or perhaps that could be a student that you hire on the side, but that probably would not be a good fit and unless you both worked out a program together of what that looks like for a business and how the social media affects business. Really think of it, you are the teacher in this intern program.
Some other feedback that we're getting, some businesses or organizations may be unsure of insurance and HIPAA regulations in their workplace. You know, they're not quite sure how to proceed with that. Just kind of doing a general search on the web, it looks like HIPAA does not have special provisions applicable to interns. Instead, an intern should be treated for HIPAA purposes the same as your employees. While this is not business advice that we're giving here, simply just look into it with your contact through HIPAA or through the HIPAA program and see what may need to be in place for that. And maybe something really easy to do, and don't let that, you know, shy you away from having an intern. Also, with insurance questions, some people are unsure of insurance. A lot of times it's simply just a phone call to your insurance agent, and I know that they're going to be able to answer that for you right away. So just make those calls and look into it. It can make a world of difference on how easy the intern comes into your business.
And then the next question is, how are the interns and the businesses paired, and is there an interview process? So I will share with you, we will provide more information as we receive it. We at the Chamber of Commerce, we are so we are here to be your advocate. So for example, if you host an intern and the intern's not great, right? It could happen. They're youth. And so the intern, well, even adults, right? So and the intern doesn't show up on time, or that it's not a good fit. We are your advocate. So you reach out to us, we reach out to the school. And in that same line of thought, for the students and the families, that scope of work is the school. That is not us. And so the Fountain Hills Unified School District is in charge of the students. And if the student needs an advocate, their advocate is the school system, right? And so it's a lovely pairing between the Chamber and the Fountain Hills Unified School District of us working together. And we will really rely on the school for that pairing, because it's up to their graduation requirements and it's up to what they're seeking in their intern program for these seniors, these graduating seniors. And so we will have more information to come about that. We do have, like Kristen said, we do have that business intern packet. I'm actually going to share with you my screen really quick because I do want you to see all of the resources that are already available to you. So if you go to fhchamber.com, which is our website, of course, you can learn more about the actual intern fair. If you click right on the slider, it's the first thing that comes up. And you can learn more about the program right here. And that's our informational meeting, I'm sorry. And then if you also go to member services, if you can all see this where it says member services, and the second one down is Workforce Internship program. And there's already so many resources available to you. There's an intern host guide. There's host requirements for you. If you have decided you want to host an intern, you can register here, which is required. So there's no charge, of course, but please register so that we know that you're a part of the program. We've shared some of our press release, and some of our objectives are coming for you to have that plan and for you to have a template to model after. And then here are your best practice training that I had mentioned earlier, and I said I didn't have the dates. They're both right here. It's the same exact. You don't see it?
But maybe it's just me. Now I do.
Okay, I apologize. Apparently you couldn't see it. I apologize about that. So here it's under Member Services, under Workforce Internship Program. And if you scroll down, you'll see your intern host guide. You can click on that. It's a flip book. Your host requirements are there. When you register to host an intern, you could do so right here. We shared our press release, our thank you to Vern C. Johnson Foundation. The example of the intern objectives and training plan will be here in just probably a week or less. And then our best practice training, which is required to attend for those who attended the intern fair, because the intern fair is also required. These two are the same class. You do not come to both. You only come to one. And we just wanted to offer 2 different days and 2 different time frames. So we're offering an 8 a.m. on September 22nd and a 3:30 p.m. on September 21st. So you only have to attend one of those. So I hope that helps to share a little bit more of your resources that are available to you.
Thank you, Betsy. Another concern that some people have voiced is they're worried about 40 hours. It seems like a lot of time to have an intern at your business. And so there's some concern about how do I keep them busy, or what do I do for 40 hours? It's a lot of time for the student. So keep in mind, we've learned from the school that not all hours of the internship necessarily need to be spent working directly with you. The part of the program also that the students have is a final presentation that they'll share in April at the end of the program, at the end of the school year. And so they will have this presentation, and they will be tying in what they have learned while they're with you into this presentation. So it's possible that they will be also able to spend some of those internship hours working on that presentation or learning more about the business. Perhaps you can give them some information to look up or research to do that would tie into what they've learned by job shadowing with you. And then they can also present that in their presentation.
Awesome. I think that's really valuable for people to know that all the 40 hours don't need to be with the business or nonprofit. Another comment that we had is I'm really busy right now, and I don't think I have time for an intern, especially once the businesses learn that their role is to truly inspire and teach through the program. One joke that we had made is if you're thinking that you might have an intern sweep your floors, that's only appropriate if they aspire to be in janitorial, right? So that's what I want you to think about. Okay, so I want you to keep in mind that the students won't be paired with the businesses until September and October. And so it really, with extracurricular activities, it's possible they might need those extracurricular sports, what have you, to end first before they're going to be able to work with you. So it might not be until November, December, January. But again, that'll be through lots of communication with the school, the family, the student, and the business or nonprofit to come up with that schedule. So that might be that you are slammed right now, but if you know that if you give yourself a whole nother quarter, that you'll have time to really get this in place so that you can take part of this brand new program. Yes.
Can I ask the student at the intern fair what their availability will be? Because if I have a special project I want to do specifically in December,
yes,
I need to know ahead of time if that's good for them. Like, that's the kind of conversation they can have at the fair too, right?
Absolutely. So I'm not sure if you heard Tammy's question because the microphone's way over here. So Tammy's question was, at the intern fair, can you as the intern host ask the students what their availability is? And the answer is absolutely yes. That's why the intern fair is a requirement. We want you to engage with the students. We want you to see who might be a good fit. We want you to really have that conversation with the students too, so that we can support the school in that good pairing with the business and the intern. And so absolutely. And we also understand, part of Tammy's question was, what if you have a big event and it's someone who's interested in learning event planning or something like that, and it's coming up sooner than January? It's important for you to know if a student is not available during what you might feel is super important for your intern host program. So absolutely engage with the students. We encourage you to do so. And also know your Chamber of Commerce, we are your advocate. Like I can't say that enough times. So Kristen Milishowski is our dedicated staff person for all of our youth initiatives. So our youth initiatives not only involve the intern program, they also involve the YEP, which is the Young Entrepreneur Membership. And so we have multiple youth initiatives, and Kristen is our dedicated staff person. But Kristen's not in a silo. We are here to help Kristen too. So Tammy and I will be at the intern fair as well. We are all here to help you. Kristen is your first line of defense, but you have a team of people who want to support you in this program, because this is the first year and we want this program to just balloon and take off. And the school is hoping to expand it to potentially and possibly even the juniors next year as we move forward. So we really are excited moving forward. And then before we answer questions, Kristen, do you also want to share really quickly your experience as an intern and how it helped you go into Workforce?
Absolutely. Many years ago, I took part in an internship program through my high school, and it was a wonderful experience for me. There were just a handful of people that took advantage of the program. A lot of the students kind of brushed it off, and I took advantage of it and ended up interning with a business. Following that, the business ended up hiring me part-time for a job, and I actually ended up, completing college in that industry and going, all the way into that industry, and spent a lot of my career in there. So it's a very rewarding experience. I still look back on Vicky, my supervisor. She was a huge mentor for me. We keep in touch to this day, and I can't say enough about the program and the people that supported me in my late teens and early 20s. So it's really a fantastic way to connect with your school, with students, and your community as a whole, and make a difference.
See why we selected Kristen to be our liaison? Okay.
One other quick thing that I want to mention, we mentioned the intern fair. Please go to the business guide PDF in there. There, like Betsy said, there's a whole overview of kind of what your role is in there, but also there's a checklist in there of things that you'll want to bring to the intern fair. And one of those in there is creating just simply like a form for if you meet a student and they're interested, take their name and email and maybe have a little section where you can jot down the hours, just something for them to sign up, and students that may potentially be interested. But there's a whole list of items there that you put your best foot forward in showcasing your business to the students, because they're looking at your industry for a potential career path.
Awesome. What other questions do we have, Tammy, that we can answer?
I think we've answered. One person had asked if it would be offered any other time of year in the future. I answered that in the text, but.
Okay, so one person asked if this would be offered on a different time frame than the time frame we shared, around October through February, and not at this time. So for this inaugural year, this is the time frame that the school is doing and we are supporting. And so perhaps in the future it can look different, but for this year, this is the only time frame that's offered. But again, use this as a great experience. And if you want to host an intern after the fact, by all means, you had this experience and support, huge support to do so. And that might be something that's part of your business plan as you move forward. And what other questions? So don't be shy. You're welcome to unmute and ask us your questions, or you're welcome to put it in the chat. And I know Tammy, thank you, Tammy, has answered all the questions on Facebook and on our Google Meets, but any other questions we can answer for you. Okay, well, we thank you all very much for logging on today. We will make this video shareable. It's as soon as we end, the live feed will be shareable or viewable on Facebook for you to go back and look. And we just encourage you. We know that you might not have done this ever before, and quite honestly, neither have we. So we're all in this together, truly, and we want the best outcome for you as a business and for the students and for the families and our community and our school. We're huge supporters of schools. On a side note, I'll just share with you that it is so important for businesses and nonprofits to get behind their school in this way, not only to build their community, but do you know the first thing that families search when they're looking to move to a new community is the school? So our schools are our most important asset here in our community. So we thank you. We thank each and every one of you for being on the call, and we'll see you at the intern fair.
Thank you so much. Don't hesitate to reach out with your questions. I'm here as a resource for you at all times.
Bye-bye.